everybody. How are you guys doing tonight? It's Colleen here with Chalk Couture, and I am going to take this adorable little sign that says love, and I'm going to make it even cuter with Chalk Couture. So what I decided to do was just place some hearts around it just to jazz it up a little bit so I could hang it in my home for Valentine's Day, which will be here before you know it, believe it or not. Can't believe that. So we will take our transfer that is called Cut Apart Hearts. It has 6 different shaped heart pieces in this transfer set. I actually have already used it, so that's why all my pieces were cut up inside my little package. And I didn't need to write back on here only because this one came with words on the back of it, which are actually the instructions on how to use the silkscreen transfers. So typically when you get a transfer set, it doesn't have anything on the back, so we just write a B or back or heart or whatever you want so that it identifies that that is the back side of the transfer. This is the front side of the transfer. The reason that we do that is because these are reusable silkscreen transfers. And if you can see, this part right here is the silkscreen. This is the shiny side of our carrier sheet. This is the back. So when we are finished with our transfer, we need to make sure that we are putting it on the shiny side. We don't want to put it on the paper side. So once you have done that process of labeling all of your transfers, you are pretty much ready to go. All that you need to do is pick your chalk paste colors, which I'm going to be using white, red, and bubblegum to just put a couple cute little hearts on this sign, just to jazz it up a little bit. So let's take our transfers, and again, they are sticky on this side, so I'm just gonna lay them around here randomly. Like I said, we're just jazzing up our sign a little bit just to make it a Chalk Couture special. So we just need to make sure that it will fit and not go over. But you know what? It's okay, because sometimes that looks pretty cool when your transfers kind of go off the edge. I love that look. So we can maybe do that with some of these as well. I think that'll look cute. And this should only take a few minutes. It's pretty simple. Simple little project that's fun and cute. This one actually does go off a little bit, but oh, I almost got it to fit. Just turning it a little bit just to get it to fit on there. But like I said, it's okay if it goes off a little. Not a big deal. Hello to anyone who is joining on my live today. Thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. And it would help me out tremendously if you would be so kind as to hit the share button on the bottom. That way we can get the Chalk Couture love out to everybody and get some interest in these amazing products. So now that we have all my transfers down, I have my chalk paste ready to go, and right next to me I have my pan of water, because we want to keep the transfers in great condition and so that we can reuse them for multiple projects. So we need to make sure that we take care of them and clean them properly and then put them back on the correct way on our carrier sheets. That way we can make many different projects out of these amazing transfers. So I'm going to open up my chalk paste, and like we do every time when we open up our chalk paste, we have our little plastic lid on here, and we just pop that off. And this is a new formulated chalk paste, so they actually did a great thing when they reformulated these. It actually almost doesn't even need to be stirred anymore like it did with the older versions. They have a yogurt-like consistency, which is what you're looking for. So we'll just scrape that off. Make sure that it's ready to go. If you open up your jar of chalk paste and it is a little dried out, all you need to do is take your water bottle add a couple drops of water. Start slow, start with just a drop or two, and stir till you're getting that yogurt-like consistency. You can always add more water, but you can't take it away once you add too much. So I'm going to use one of our squeegees. This is our small squeegee, but what I did is I cut it in half. That way I can just have multiple squeegees at the ready. Because I am going to be doing a couple different colors, I have 3 squeegees ready to go. So we'll start with red. I'm just going to start on this end, I guess, with my red chalk paste, and I'm just covering my silkscreen transfer, just putting a little bit on. See, I put a lot on there actually. I don't need all that, so I'm just going to put that right back into my jar, get all my excess chalk paste off, and again put that right back into my jar. I'm going to do this one in red too, I think. Let me just get this one on here real quick too. With Chalk Couture, you do want to work a little quick. It is chalk paste, not chalk paint, so it does dry pretty quickly. So you want to, once you have no lines and all your excess chalk paste off, you're just going to go ahead and remove your transfer and get it right into water. So you can see how cute that came out already. It just adds such a cute little design to a, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this sign, but just to give it a little extra life, I think we'll make it look really cute. Let's take our bubble gum, and this chalk paste I actually have had since I started with Chalk Couture back in July. That's when they launched to the public, and at that point I did become a designer, and I can't tell you how much I love making all these fun little projects. For me, it's very relaxing and calming. Just getting over doing lives was the biggest hurdle that I had to overcome. But now it's not that big of a deal. I don't mind doing it. I love sharing different projects with you guys. Some of them are hits, some of them not so much. But that's how things go. You live and you learn, you practice, and you have fun while you're doing it. That's the important thing. So again, this is just bubble gum that I'm putting on here. This is actually an old formulated chalk paste. As I mentioned, I have had this paste since July when I started. Once I got my kit, I played with it for a little bit and I fell in love, so I purchased a lot of chalk and a lot of different transfers to play with. Just gonna peel that off. Now that one I probably should have added, I can tell I should have added a little bit more water to it because it was a little bit chunky. I should have, like I said, just added a little bit of water. But it's not a big deal because with Chalk Couture it is chalk paste, so you can just add water to that and wipe it right off and start again. Not a big deal. And what I'm actually going to do is for my next one, let me add a little more water, and we will go ahead and stir that up again. I am hitting the bottom of my jar here of bubble gum, so I'm gonna have to order some more. Yeah, that needs a little help, but that's okay. Let's do some pink over here. I'm just using my stirrer this time to just apply the paste. You can do either or. You can use your squeegee, or you can just use your, you can use a craft stick or little, these are actually little makeup stirrers. I got those because you can actually wash them, and so that I'm not going through tons and tons of craft sticks. So this way I save myself a little bit of money and can reuse my stirrers as well. So I think that came out much better now that I added a little bit of water to it. And we just want to make sure that once we are done with our chalk paste, we're putting the lid back on there so that the chalk paste doesn't dry out. Like I said, not a big deal if it does because we just add water. So we're going to move on to our white chalk paste, and I know that this one is also gonna need a little love with some water. Just put a little bit of water in there. I do have a couple white chalk paste, the newer versions, but I'm still trying to get projects out with my old version of the white chalk paste before they reformulated it. Let's just try and squeak another project out of this jar. Hello Hello, Jessica. You're following me around tonight on my lives, huh? I love it. So we're just going to put a little bit here, a little bit there. I've got my squeegee ready to go. So we just put it on and take it right back off, get all that excess off. And you see, I don't know if you can see, I goofed. I got a little bit off of the side of my transfer. Not a big deal. Water will help with that. We take that right off. This, I think this one's my favorite heart. This one and that heart that I just did are my two favorites. Now, what I could have done and what I should have done is I should have actually just picked up the transfer and moved along and placed them in other places, because once you have the chalk paste on here, you can still see the silkscreen transfer. I could actually just lay that back down and probably get another application out of that, but I wasn't thinking ahead and I threw them into my water pan. Not a big deal. I'll just clean them off, just get the chalk paste off, let it dry for a minute, and I can come back and add some more hearts, which I definitely want to do. But in the meanwhile, you get the gist of where I'm going with this, and taking just a cute little love sign and embellishing it with chalk couture. How cute is that? Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic evening, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Bye.